Welcome back, Focus fanatics. In this video, I'm going to show you how pool tables work with Focus. Many establishments charge for pool tables by time, perhaps $10 per hour. In this demonstration, I will show you how to open a new table or tab with a pool table, how to have multiple pool tables on one tab, and how to stop the timer on the pool table once the user is done using the table. Focus offers many different ways to utilize the pool table functions and can be set up differently for each environment. In the first example, we're going to assume that the establishment named Pool Sharks uses a floor plan for their pool tables and opens a tab on that table when a user begins playing. To do this, you will need to create a floor plan with pool tables. Here you can see that I have my floor plan already set up. A couple things to note while we are in this screen. If you click on Pool Table 2 over here on the right hand side, you will see that the beginning image is pool green, which will display a green pool table when that table is available for use. Once that table is open, the image will change to a red pool table as configured by placing the pool red image in the occupied slot. You can also see that the default menu item is pool table. If you put an item in this drop-down box, the pool table timer will activate as soon as you select the table. If you choose not to put a default pool table in the drop-down box, the server or employee will simply have to manually start the pool table. I will demonstrate that as well. Like I said before, the configuration will depend on the establishment's preferences. A couple options you have while setting up your pool tables is to create separate items for each pool table, such as pool table 1, 2, 3, and 4, or use the same item for each pool table. It will not affect the performance of the system. However, if you create separate pool tables, you'll be able to generate reports on which pool tables are being used more frequently. Once again, that is an establishment's preference. Another thing you can do when setting up your floor plan is change the location of the table once it is selected. You can see that on pool table 1 over here on the right hand side, I have a %L23 typed in after P1. You will not see %L23 on the floor plan in the front of house, as that is a macro that will change the location of that pool table to location 23, or in my case, the pool table location I have set up. Let me show you real quickly where that goes. If you go to locations, and we're to set up a pool table location with perhaps different menus and different printer assignments, the 23 comes from counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down to 23. You can actually use this on any floor plan. If you wanted perhaps a certain table to change to the bar location, you would do %L2 in this example. Alright, back to my floor plan. Okay, so on table 1, I have %L23. The nice thing about doing that is you can change the way the system functions when the pool table is open versus when a regular table is open. Perhaps the order type, revenue center, or even the menu and print options will be different in the pool hall area versus the bar area. If you wanted drinks to print to a different printer, say maybe a pool hall bar, and different menu options to appear when working a pool table, you would want to utilize this feature. So let's demonstrate how this works in the front of house. When I log in as a server, I can choose a regular table or I can choose a pool table here on the right hand side. You can see that I already have table 1, 2, and 5 occupied as noted by the red color of the tables. If I select table 5, you can see that the pool table was opened at 2:20 and the customer ordered a Corona. At this point, I am free to add any food or beverages to the ticket. If you remember on table 5, I did not add the macro %L23, so when I open the pool table location, it remained the default location for that server, which defaults to the appetizer screen. If I go back to my floor plan layout and select table 1, which did have the macro %L23 added to the table, the default screen will be different because it's assigned a different location. On this check, you can see that they had multiple items on the check along with 2 different pool tables. Let's take a look at how this works from the beginning to end. If I log in as a server and select pool table 9, which did have my macro on it, it's going to prompt me for the number of guests, which can also be configured, and automatically begins the pool table timer. At this point, I can add menu items to the table. Let's add a couple beers. That was pretty simple. Once I'm done with the table, I can go ahead and quit and go do my other duties. If I log back in, you can see that the color of the table has changed to red, signifying that it's in use. I can now go into the table and add more beverages and food whenever necessary. And then I can go ahead and quit out. Once that customer is done playing pool, I simply need to pull up the table and select my stop timer button. Once I confirm that I do want to stop the timer, the price will be calculated based on the number of minutes that the pool table was being used. At this point, I can leave the tab open, pay it out, or if I want to free up the table on the floor plan, I can simply rename the tab to the guest name to make pool table 9 available again. I'm going to go ahead and name this Fred. And go ahead and leave it open because Fred's going to hang around and have a few more cocktails. Now if I log back in, you can see that pool table 9 is now available for another customer, and if I need to access Fred's tab to add more beverages or food, I can simply select my tab list and I'll see Fred over here. Once again, all these parameters can be set up depending upon the establishment's preferences. For Fred, I'm just going to go ahead and cash him out. And his total was $17.58, and he gave me a $20 bill. Okay, so that's how you use pool tables with a floor plan. Now I'm going to show you how pool tables can work in a smaller environment, perhaps where we are not using a table layout. If I clock in as a bartender, you can see I have a screen set up here with my various pool tables. I simply select pool table 5, and you see that the timer begins. If I want to add multiple tables to a tab, I can simply select another table. As in the previous example, I am free to add any items to this tab as I choose. I can go ahead and name this tab George. And go about my business. Once the customer is done playing, like in the previous example, I simply select the stop timer button and the timer stops. So if I go back into my system, I go up to my tab list, find George's tab, and find my stop timer button, which can be in multiple locations. I have it here on my fastbar screen because in this establishment they do this a lot. And I also have it here on my table screen. So from here I can simply select stop timer, and what's going to happen here is it's going to go down the row and ask me which table that I would like to stop. So if I want to select stop table 2, I'm going to hit no on the first prompt, yes on the second prompt, and then no on the third prompt. And you can see that only pool table 2 has a price on it. Once George is done using the other pool tables, I simply select Stop Timer again, confirm that yes, the first table, I'd like to stop the timer, and the second table, I would like to stop the timer as well. One nice feature is that the timer will automatically adjust the price if the customer begins playing during, say, a happy hour time, but continues once happy hour is over. In this instance, the system will calculate, say, 35 minutes at price 1, perhaps $3 an hour, and the remaining time at price 2, perhaps $10 an hour. That wraps up the demonstration on how Pool Tables works in Focus. Be reminded that all these functions can be set up to accommodate different preferences, and that Focus is a great tool for any pool hall. We hope this feature benefits you and your customers. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay focused.